Hi crochet friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stefania, and today we're celebrating reaching 300 subscribers by doing some crochet outside. We're in the middle of a heat wave, so I thought I would get out early and find a nice shady spot to relax in. I don't want to be outside too long though, because I'm already getting pretty sweaty just from getting here. But I've pre-prepared my 100 flowers, so I'll just be attaching them into a nice flower chain. As I made my way towards the river, I passed by a couple of these large flowering trees and just had to stop to take some footage. I hope you can hear it or at least see some of them, but there were so many different bees and butterflies buzzing in these trees that it was so loud as I walked by. As I approached the river, I looked across the water and even saw a herd of cows exploring. I've seen different species of dragonflies, butterflies, and regular flies, as well as ducks, geese, cranes, and what I think was a beaver. That was such a lovely surprise. I didn't even know we had beavers out in this area. I've organized my 100 flowers in my hat just so I can keep the stacks of colors separated. And I've got my green yarn to make the vine to attach them all. I'm not going to pay too close attention to how many chains I'm doing. I'm just going to try to get about 10. I'm more focused on enjoying the beautiful nature around me. I really can't thank each and every one of you enough for subscribing to my channel. Your support really means so much. And it's really inspiring seeing the subscribers' flowers in my background. It reminds me that there's so many of you out there watching my videos and enjoying them. Friendly reminder that if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do so now. This goes for all current and new subscribers. If there's a color that you want to represent yourself on my subscriber flowers, leave a comment with that preferred color. I won't be able to include that now, obviously, but in the next 100 flowers, I'll be sure to include your preferred flower and even give you a shout out. My sister recently visited me here in the Netherlands, and we took some time to have a little crochet lesson. I helped teach her the magic circle and showed her how I make my subscriber flowers. It's not exactly the same size as my subscriber flowers, but she offered to gift me her first attempt at a flower, and I couldn't say no. I feel very honored to have her very first magic circle project, and that I'll be able to include it on my subscriber wall. To be honest, I've been feeling a little burned out recently. Not necessarily on the creative front, but just in life in general. It's been a little difficult to stay motivated to do the things that I want to do. Thanks to past therapy, I'm able to give myself some grace and understanding that I just need to honor my energy levels where I'm at. But that almost creates this cycle where I want to do things, but I don't have the energy to do them, so I don't do them. And even though I try to be nice to myself about it, not doing anything just kind of makes me feel even worse. Last weekend I had a market that went really well, but the whole week up to it, my energy was just at zero. Luckily, there wasn't too much market prep that I had to do left, but even the small tasks that I had to do felt like huge tasks. It's not how I prefer to operate, and it was really mentally hard to not be able to get myself to even print some documents. It feels really silly saying it out loud, but yeah, it was difficult. Luckily, I was able to get my to-do list taken care of, and I had a lovely, successful market. I'll tell you more about that in next week's video. But it's really difficult admitting to myself that mentally I'm not where I'd like to be. It's a small thing, but just being out here in nature, doing some crochet while observing the wildlife, I feel my batteries recharging a bit. Now, if only I could keep these batteries charged so that I could keep applying to jobs while I continue making videos and trying to have a semblance of a social life. But I know that this is just the season of life that I'm in, and that there's bigger and better things waiting just around the corner. For now, I'll honor the energy levels that I have and keep taking steps to recharge my batteries a bit more. My partner and I have been having business meetings every week where we set weekly goals for ourselves. While I'm one to usually set a pretty ambitious list, this week I'm really trying to scale it down to take better care of myself. I figure if I can just have a couple of small wins, that'll feel a lot better than having a large, ambitious list that I can't achieve. If any of you have felt like this and have any advice or perspective that you'd like to share, I'd love to see that in the comments down below. I'm really proud of myself for how far I've come in terms of making YouTube videos. So far this year, I've managed to continue making a video every single week, continuing the trend from last year. I've seen a lot of improvements in how I make these videos. Let me know if you've noticed the same. One thing that I'm trying to improve on is not using my on-camera voice as much. I really want these videos to feel more like we're just having a conversation, albeit a bit one-sided. Part of me feels like I've been really masking on camera, and I'd really like to find a way to feel more authentic. I suppose that comes with practice, but it's something that I'm consciously trying to improve on. I really enjoyed spending this time crocheting in nature. The unmotivated part of me was thinking, oh, just stay inside and do this in the air conditioning. But getting outside and in nature, seeing all these animals, has really recharged my batteries, and I'm really glad I pushed myself to brave the hot weather. I hope for those of you that are also experiencing this heat wave that you've managed to stay cool and not overheat. Well, there we are, all 100 flowers attached to the flower chain. I do still need to weave in the ends of all these flowers, but I'm going to do that back in the air-conditioned art office. Well, I'm back in the office now, and I've cooled down after having some lunch and a popsicle. Now, all that's left to do is to hang up this flower chain. And there we are, we now have 300 flowers in the background, representing each of the first 300 subscribers to my channel. If you think you see any tails on the flowers, no you don't, I'm gonna sew those in later. Once again, I want to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you who've subscribed and who support my channel by watching my videos. It really means so much to me, and I couldn't be doing all of this without your support. If you've made it this far and haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way, YouTube should let you know the next time I release a new video. If you have any other ideas of other types of content you'd like to see from me, leave any suggestions in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!